Let's talk about one of my favorite herbs. I love her. So, nettles is truly one of my favorite herbs of all time. And that is because I've needed it quite a bit. It's one of those funny herbs that's like one of the secrets of nature is that a lot of times what an herb does at the offset, at the beginning, at first contact, is what it can heal later. So stinging nettles, this is stinging nettles, the kind that if you run into in the woods or in your yard, it hurts. But the irony there is that when you dry it and take it internally, it's actually one of the best antihistamines and anti-inflammatories that's out there. It's also been used topically, historically, to rub on and cause a reaction in places where you're already having a reaction. It increases blood flow to the area when you use fresh nettles on a site that's inflamed. So it's even been used for joints and stuff like that. I absolutely love it because I have historically needed a lot of antihistamines. I had a lot of thyroid issues at one time. I have since healed that up completely, and we'll talk about that another time. But nettles is a fast-acting antihistamine. If you're used to popping a Benadryl or something like that, Zyrtec, whatever, I highly recommend, after consulting your doctor, to try nettle tea because it acts very quickly and very effectively. You can feel it. It's really cool. So I'm just going to look at my notes and make sure that I cover everything. And we're just going to do a quick video, y'all. This is not going to be long. So some of the things that nettles does that we can talk about scientifically is that it inhibits histamine 1 receptors and mast cell tryptase and inhibits pro-inflammatory markers. So those are just some of the actual actions that it takes in the body. It's also long been used for urinary tract and kidney issues. I haven't necessarily used it for that specifically, but from what I see in the studies is that it actually soothes the lining of the lungs and those types of tissues, and also the kidneys and urinary tract. I wanted to talk really quickly about what my dog is talking, chemical components are, just so you can tell that I'm not full of it. So one of the main things that nettles has is rutin, which is a really cool component that suppresses pro-inflammatory cytokines and reduces histamine release. Quercetin, which a lot of you may be actually familiar with, nettles is high in quercetin, and that just plain old reduces inflammatory markers. Some of you may be taking quercetin supplements also. You can get it right here. Isoquercitrin, or ISQ, suppresses inflammatory response and even selectively targets certain types of cancer cells to die. So that's kind of cool. There's a couple of other things like camphorol, which prevents inflammatory response. So what you see basically with nettles is that if you've got something inflammatory going on, like I did with my thyroid issues, which caused a lot of cascade type inflammatory markers and real-time things to go on in my body, I use nettles over a decent period of time to bring those things down. But even if I'm literally having hay fever, grabbing some nettles and making a tea real quick will absolutely cure that up for me very, very quickly. Within an hour, I am much, much better. They do say that you shouldn't use even natural antihistamines for longer than maybe a couple of weeks at a time. And so I'll caution you there. I haven't seen any negative studies on long-term use of nettle, and it is a part of some diets in some cultures. So I'm not really sure if I completely believe that, but I'll give you that caution. It also can interfere with blood pressure medications and diabetes medications, but the reason for that is because it lowers blood pressure and also helps with insulin response. So it's going to affect those medications because it's actually going to help you. So you need to be careful if you're taking those types of medication and using this lovely lady. And that's it. I'm a little frazzled today. I'm working, I'm making some products for some orders, but I wanted to cover this really quick. Thank you.